How sure can we be that there is a God? According to Donald Page from Princeton's Institute of Advanced Science, the odds of our universe randomly taking a form suitable for life is 1 out of 10 billion to the 124th power. To put that number in perspective, the number of atoms in our entire universe is estimated at 10 to the 70th power. In other words, it's not very likely that this occurred without sprinkling a little divine intervention in there. Here are the top reasons we believe that there is a God. 1. Something cannot come from nothing. Every effect has a cause. Whatever begins to exist has a cause of its beginning. The universe began to exist. Therefore, the universe has a cause of its beginning. This is also referred to as the cosmological argument, and it was the logic of Muslim philosopher Al-Ghazali, which still holds true today. And to compound that, expert philosopher William Lane Craig then adds, if something did come from nothing, then it becomes inexplicable why just anything or everything doesn't come into being from nothing, which is absurd. Why don't motorcycles, balloons, and the Pope just pop into being from nothing? Common experience and scientific evidence confirm that everything does come from something, and therefore the universe had a beginning. This argument goes 1,000 layers deep, but you get the point. With that in mind, you can see how the chances of a complex species such as humans coming out of nowhere, with the ability to think, reason, reflect, love, and design other complex things, is not only mathematically improbable, it's logically inconceivable. Even if a theory such as evolution were true, a cause would be necessary to set it in motion. In fact, we fully support some components of the evolutionary theory and can see how it coexists with intelligent design. If evolution was the primary means by which advanced life forms came to be, the matter itself would have to come from somewhere, and it's unreasonable to think that natural selection occurred without any guidance from an outside force, given the level of sophistication and the observable intent behind the mutations. 2. Our instinctive moral compass points to objective morality. Sexually abusing children on national television would be a universally devastating and highly emotional scene, would it not? Why would this upset so many people if the act itself had no bearing on our survival, which is the only relevant priority under traditional Darwinism? Isn't it because humans have a universal, objective moral compass that allows us to distinguish right from wrong? Don't we also know from our moral compass that stealing or sleeping with a neighbor's spouse is wrong without someone having to tell us? The reality is that even though there are some cultural differences in morality, for the most part, all humans have a deeply rooted, objective moral compass that goes far deeper than the basic lessons our parents taught us to help us learn the distinction between right and wrong. Many people use this standard of what seems good to them to justify the actions of their life. But where did they even arrive at the concept of good? In the theory of natural selection, the concept of good does not even exist. The weak die out and the strong survive, no matter how cruel and immoral the circumstances seem. If that's the case, then where did anybody obtain this intrinsic moral value that is clearly instilled within them? Wouldn't it be necessary for a God who is good in order for the concept of evil to even exist? Furthermore, if God did grant us free will and ability to reason and decipher evil, then wouldn't we ultimately have the choice to choose evil if we wanted to, and have the ability to recognize that it's all around us? The logical conclusion here is that a designer ingrained this objective moral compass in us intentionally. 3. Every design has a designer. Ever read a book that's so good you can't put it down? It'd be pretty silly to think that the book mysteriously wrote itself, wouldn't it? The placement of the words, advanced concepts, ability to capture the attention of the audience. Obviously, someone carefully crafted and formulated it over a period of time. Watch a sunset. Stare at the ocean waves. Examine a leaf. Study the complexity of the human eye or the uniqueness of a DNA strand. If we acknowledge that this world consists of incredible, complex, intricate designs, how can we not point to the hands of a masterful creator? The fine-tuning of the Earth alone is evidence of this. If gravity was altered by 10 to the negative 37th power of a percent, our sun would not exist, and neither would we. The Earth is comprised of 21% oxygen in the atmosphere. If the oxygen levels were at 25%, fires would erupt spontaneously. And if it were at 15%, human beings would suffocate. A single gram of DNA is capable of holding 700 terabytes worth of data. It would only take 2 grams of DNA to store all of the digital information in the entire world. Pretty incredible, isn't it? The odds of a DNA strand arranging itself in the right order to create life is 1 in 10 to the 400,000th power, meaning you have a better chance of being struck by lightning every day for the rest of your life. When you consider how even individual parts of our body function, such as the human eye, it's hard to fathom that anything less than intelligent design is responsible. Even Charles Darwin stated that, to suppose that the eye, with all its nuances for adjusting the focus to different distances, for admitting different amounts of light, and for the correction of spherical and chromatic aberration, could have been formed by natural selection seems, I freely confess, absurd in the highest possible degree. The human eye is literally a living camera. It has the ability to focus, decipher distances, adjust to light settings, and it even has the ability to assemble and repair itself, unlike man-made cameras. And we even have window wipers and washers, aka eyelids and eyelashes, which were designed to protect our eyes, along with eye-washing fluid that contains enzymes protecting us against infection and external particles, while keeping our eyes hydrated. Sounds like a pretty thorough, well-thought-out design, doesn't it? While there are many more reasons to believe in God, we feel this is a pretty good start, and a fairly logical way to approach the conversation. Now the important question becomes identifying who the person of God is. Continue watching our content to learn more.